Hi, my name is Sasha. Welcome back to my channel, Sash Reads, and this is my September wrap-up. Do you want me to discuss the car? I needed to film this wrap-up. It's currently the 12th of October, and I just haven't really had any free time to film a sit-down video, and I had some free time now because I live with 4 other people, right, who always need my time and attention. So I thought while I'm here alone waiting for an appointment, I would film this. Hopefully the camera does not overheat while I'm filming this. I really have not had any preparation for this, so let's have a look. September was Magical Readathon. I think that's the only readathon I participated in. So I read 13 books, I read 3,384 pages, and I DNF'd 2 books. One of the books I DNF'd was The God in the Woods, or God of the Woods, and that was, I think I got to 100 pages, and I just wasn't having a good time. I was just waiting for just something to happen. I had a feeling it was going to be supernatural, but after reading other people's reviews and watching some live shows, there's nothing supernatural about it at all. And I like my horrors to be supernatural or paranormal, right? I don't like literary horror. I don't think I'm a big lit horror fan. So that's why I DNF'd that. Oh, I also DNF'd Flame in the Mist by Renee Ardier, just because I was listening along to it in one of my vlogs and I just haven't picked it up since. And I did say if I haven't read it by the end of September, then I'm gonna unhaul it. So there we go, which is good. I really need to go through my shelves and have a look at just do a good audit. Because I'm not a YA reader anymore, I don't think. Especially, I'm not a big YA fantasy reader. So I need to go through them all and just get rid of some books, I think. Let's have a look. My favorite of the month was probably The Charm Offensive by Alison Cochrane. That book made me sob so many tears, but in such a good way. I just felt seen in that book. Yeah, 5 stars. That's about this boy, or about this man, was fired from his own company pretty much because he was a bit different. He kept having these outbursts. And so his publicist is like, let's rehabilitate your image and put you on this dating show, sort of like The Bachelor. So he goes onto the dating show, and that's where he meets Dev, who is one of the producers and is his handler, and they fall in love, and it was just so cute. I loved it a lot. So I did have 5 5-star ratings, 1 4.5, 3 4-star ratings, 1 3.5, 2 3-star ratings, and 1 2-star rating. Out of the 13 books, 7 of them were ebooks, 1 of them was physical, 3 of them were audios, and 2 were hybrids, which was I listened to it, and then when I got home, I read it physically. Not the immersion where I read and listen at the same time. I cannot do that, so that's why it's hybrid. Out of the 13 books, 4 of them had queer representation. Only 1 of them had BIPOC author. 2 of them I owned physically, and 9 of them were on my TBR. So, we want to know the worst book that I read? I'm going to go with Die Cat by Jenny Lynn Francis. I have a vlog for that. You can go watch that. But it just wasn't a good time. Either I'm not smart enough for it, or I'm just not the intended audience, which is totally fine. Oh, the other readathon was the Mystic Readathon, hosted by Nell over at Nell Diamond. Go Team Werewolves. Our first book I actually listened to, and that was We Are All So Good at Smiling by Amber McBride. There it says I'm giving it 5 stars. Oh no, I crossed it out. I'm like, no, I don't think it was 5 stars. So I gave that 4 stars. I listened to that while I was setting up this journal, I think. So it was a pretty short audiobook. I had a really good time. I've listened to Me Moth by the same author. I really enjoyed that. I think this is definitely a auto pickup author. Her poetry is just beautiful. I then read How to Fake Date a Vampire by Lindsay Hall and gave that one 3.5 stars. This was for, I think, the bat prompt. Read a book with bats on the cover for Magical Readathon, and I had a really fun time. This was a fake dating story about a witch and a vampire. She is trying to prove herself to her coven, and he comes from like this big hotshot family, and he's come back to this small town to, I think, try and sort some stuff out because his father died, and so now he's the heir to the vampire, whatever. But his father wasn't a very good person, so he's trying to like right his dad's wrongs, but the witch only thinks that the witch thinks he's as bad as his dad. And I just had a really fun time. I definitely want to read the other 2 books in the trilogy. Yeah, fun little supernatural rom-coms. I then read A Breath of Fresh Air by Allegra Hall. This one was 5 stars. This was so short. It was 92 pages. I got this as an e-arc from the author, and it was like just a slice of life. Oh, not really. Maybe. It's about... So this is the same author as Wolf in the Garden, right? And if you've been around, I love that book. 5 stars, one of my favorite books of last year. So this is about the main character's mum. So the mum is at the wedding for her daughter, and she meets this werewolf, and they hit it off. So they're both like older. I'm pretty sure she's like 40s and he's in his 50s. And they're just trying to sort out like how to be together because they live on opposite sides of New Zealand. He already has like a 10-year-old from a previous relationship. Yeah, it's just them just trying to make it work. There was like some sexting, and I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was quite cute. I then read Fallen Wolf by Belle Harper. I gave this one 3 stars, but man, I'm thinking maybe a 2 now. Just thinking back of it. So this is an author going to Babe, and I did not realize that this is the first book in a series, but you're supposed to read the first book of a different series first, because this book is about a side character. It's the POV of a side character from the main series. And so if you read the main series, you would know what's happening. But like, I'm reading this book and I'm like, why isn't this book about this other girl? She seems so much more interesting. What the heck is going on? And then after I finish it, I'm like, oh, there is a book based on the other girl. I mean, I think I will read, I think it's called Twice Bitten, because it was very interesting what was going on, and I want to give this author a second chance. I then read Ghost Mortem by Jane Hinchy. This is a author going to a romantic affair in Adelaide in January, and I gave it 3 stars. It was mid. Like, I'm not going to reread it. I'm not going to continue on with this series. It's about this girl who's kind of just, she's not winning at life. She just got fired, or she's a temp job or something, and her best friend just died, but she doesn't know that because she wakes up and he's in her apartment. No one else can see him. Turns out he's a ghost, and only she can see him, and he's a PI. So she then takes over his business for her and tries to figure out who killed him. I'm like, what? I don't know. It was just kind of crazy. There was just some sentences and some lines that just didn't rub me the right way, so I'm not going to continue with the series. I think I got the ebook for free anyway. I then read Patricia Wants a Cuddle by Samantha Allen, and this was such a fun time. So this is another like bachelor type show. I did have a vlog for this, so I'll link it up there for you. It's the same vlog as Diket. But yeah, it's about these girls trying to get the rose or whatever from the guy, and because the show is going down the toilet, they can only afford like real cheap stuff, right? So real cheap settings and locations. So they go to this like haunted island. It used to be a very big tourist attraction, but now no one goes there anymore because of these Bigfoot sightings and because of all these women that keep going missing. What a great place to put your finale of your dating show, right? I don't want to spoil it, so I'm just going to leave it at that. That was 4 stars. I then read The Sea in You by Jessie Sharon and had the best freaking time. So this was recommended to me by Ren over at the Reading Ren, and they were raving about it. So I'm like, I need to pick it up. I saw my library had a physical copy, so I went and grabbed it. And it's about this girl who doesn't really have many friends. She's only got this older boyfriend, and she's at the beach one day where she kind of gets seduced, sirenized, and goes into the water, and this mermaid tries to kill her, but then the mermaid's like, I don't want to kill you. So they become fast friends. Like, it's a good insight to like abusive relationships. I wouldn't know, but there is a content warning for an abusive relationship, and also like gay awakening, and yeah, it was just a fun time. The artwork was really cute too. I then read The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. I had such a blast with this book too, let me tell you. This is the second book in, what was the first one? The XX. And I really enjoyed this one as well as the first one. They're both fun times, and I love the banter between our two main characters, and I love that it was dual POV. Give me a romance with dual POV any day over the woman's POV. Like, I need to know how much he is frothing over this girl, please. Ugh. Love it. And then I read The Charm Offensive, so that was 5 stars too. I already talked about that. I then did a vlog that I haven't edited yet, but it was my Minotaur romance vlog. So I read A Yulian Sister's Guide to Getting Married. I gave this one 5 stars. This was an e-arc, by the way. It's such a fun time. This is by Ellie Eldridge, and this is her first like full-length novel. You can tell how much this author has grown in their writing. It was just so well done. Like, it's a completely different, not completely different, but like you can tell how much her writing has matured since when I read her first book, Washed Up with a Kraken, I think is what it's called. So yeah, this is about Minotaur King, and he has this like agreement with the humans because his kingdom can't generate magic on their own. He has to get these like crystals from the humans, right? But the last couple of shipments haven't arrived. So he goes to the human kingdom and was like, yo, what's going on? And the humans are like, oh, I don't know. Like, we just haven't sent them, like, because blah, blah, blah. But the princess, one of the princesses, there's 3 sisters, she does not want to be a princess, really. She wants to be a soldier. She wants to be a knight. And she overhears her parents talking about how they sent the shipment, but they're not sure why it never arrived, right? And she accidentally lets that slip to the Minotaur. And so the Minotaur, he's like, well, I know how to figure out who's done this, but I can't just go around to my, like, Minotaur council without a special reason. And that reason being, I need a fiance. And she's like, well, I want to show my mums that I am a serious knight. So if I figure out what's happened to the shipment, then maybe they'll see me as a serious knight. And so that's how they make their fake fiance agreement. And so good. We have like 1 bed trope, 1 horse trope. We've got bondage. And I just, yeah. This was dual POV as well, and the way there's a little bit of miscommunication that does get resolved in the end. Like, she is like, can you just trust me and like teach me your Minotaurian ways, because I'm not a Minotaur. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And he's like, oh yeah, soz. So yeah, that was really fun. I had such a fun time, and I cannot wait to see what else this author brings out. And then we're in Escaping the Friend Zone by Emily Antoinette. This was a fun time. I think I gave this 4.5 stars. So this is the daddy dom, baby girl, kink. This is brother's best friend. Yeah, and plus size representation in this one too. So her brother is a werewolf. He was bitten by a werewolf when he moved to this town, and he didn't know what to do because no one really knows about the paranormal world. So she moves to the town with him and guides him through that. So this is before the story happens, right? And she's kind of had a crush on his best friend, who's this Minotaur, but he's always been a bit arrogant, and she also thinks he's out of her league because he's always like so well put together and is kind of a dick to her when she has, I think she's got like ADHD symptoms. It's not outright said, but she has her own business and she's just like a little like raccoon, right? All right. It overheated. I'm so sorry if it's changed, but I've got like 10 minutes for my appointment, so this has got to be quick. So what was I talking about? I was talking about, oh, and now a car is parked next to me. Awesome. So yeah, I liked Escaping the Friend Zone. And then I read Diket. I gave that one 2 stars. It was just not a fun time. That's all I'm going to say about that. And then I read A Blue Ribbon Romance by C.M. Nascosta. That is the male POV of Morning Glory Milking Farm. And it was a lot of the book was about him before he started at Morning Glory Milking Farm and before he even met the girl. I think I would have definitely preferred if this book had both POVs. If she just mashed both of them together, I think it would have worked very well. And yeah, so that was a 4-star book. Those were the 13 books that I read in September. Let me know down below what was your favorite book that you read in September. If you did get to the end of this video, pop the charm emoji in the comments below for the Charm Offensive, favorite book of the month. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos by me. And if you want to be my friend, you can add me on Goodreads, Instagram, and Storycraft. It's all just at Sash Reads. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Bye!